Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, My Producer Journey. I'm Naresh, and today I want to talk to you about making sure our studio time is the most productive that it can be. Okay guys, one of the problems I think that we face sometimes is this endless loop of cycles of loops that we go around in producing something, feeling that it's great, getting to a point where it's getting to an arrangement and then finding actually it's not that great. We then throw it away, start again. How many abandoned projects do you have on your hard drive? Let me know, because I have quite a few and I know that I've gone around this and it's a bit frustrating. It's a bit defeating, because you know, we put all that effort in, we put the time aside, and in the end what do we have to show for it? I know that people around us perhaps might be thinking, well, you've been doing this for a long time, you've been doing it all day, and then they ask to see or want to see what you've done, and really we don't have anything to show. It's a horrible feeling, and I know, and I can resonate that with you guys if you're in the same boat. But there's something that I heard that I think can help us here. This is something that I wanted to show you, and I'm going to trial it and I'm going to show you how I get along. So come along in the subsequent videos and I'll show you what happens. But what am I talking about? I'm talking about thinking about going to the gym and using that analogy with how we produce. So bear with me here. It might sound a little bit different, but if you've heard it, great. But look, this is something that I think is quite good. When we go to the gym, what do? So before we go, we make sure we've got the right clothes, we've got the right trainers, got the right gear, but we also make sure we've eaten right, we've got a time that's already scheduled, we also know what we're going to do when we get there, if it's a weights day or if it's a cardiovascular day, you know, we know, right? And we've planned all this either in our head, down on paper, or in a diary somewhere. You know, it's something that's already sketched in. Then when we're actually there, we actually then execute on that plan. So if it's a weights day, we'll do our weights, CV if it's CV, you know, and afterwards, some of us will actually even write down what we did, you know, or at least a mental note that, okay, I did my 5K run, I've done my weight session, you know, and then you also actually realize whether it's, you know, you need to up your game a little bit, whether you're happy with your performance, you know, whether you got tired or hungry through it, you know, you kind of get a way of working out what's working for you and what's not, okay? And these are the three sort of high-level steps that we go through when we go to the gym, and before and after. Now think about how we could use that analogy for our studio time. So think about it. Before we actually get to the studio, what do we need to do? We need to make sure, you know, we're ready. We've got our chosen instruments. We've got our loops and context loops that we drums and kicks and whatever we want to use. We've got those things, you know, set aside. We've planned and scheduled in the time and the date and when we're going to do this. These are sort of things that we probably do right now, actually, but it's worth sort of bottoming down on those areas and maybe even putting buffers around it. So have a fixed number of loops, because remember, the gym session was only 45 minutes. Your studio session is only going to be 45 minutes, or you know, something small, I would suggest. So you're going to be limited in what you can do, and some of the tracks and the genre you're making are going to have typical context loops. You can always sort them out later on, but having them ready, you know, whether it's a library that's you've set up that's ready to go to, or instruments that you've already, you know, prepared and tuned in and ready to, you know, play with. You're having those sort of things will then set you up. The other thing to think about is what is it you can do in that session. Just like we said, if it's going to be a CV day or if it's going to be a weights day, we kind of know, right? So sometimes I've personally found that, you know, when I generate an idea, I don't really know whether I want to generate a melody or just some sort of rhythmic pattern. You know, it'd be good to kind of have in my mind in advance, maybe write it down on paper, what it is that we actually want to get out of that session. What is that idea session about? Is it just going to be bass? Is it about a synth pattern that I want to create on the instrument? Maybe lock it down to say one instrument, you know, one sort of couple of patterns that you want to make, and then you repeat these sessions later on that you can then build on them. But this is the first one that you're going to be start getting into. So let's say you've done your preparation, you've gone into your session, and now you've started to use those instruments and loops and actually produced a couple of ideas. Then at the end of that session, the other thing that you should be doing, and I found that there's an interesting idea and I'm going to do it, is journaling. So this is a bit of a strange concept at first, I thought, because I have started journaling in the morning, and I do see, yes, okay, you can do a brain dump and you can clear your mind out. But this is slightly different. This is sort of like a post studio journal. It's to kind of then say what went well, what didn't go well, what did you like, what did you feel like, identifying areas that you think, okay, I'm going to need to improve on here. When you start doing that, you're then informing the next studio session or a learning session what you're going to be doing in them. So if I was designing a synth and I think, well, okay, I'm not quite sure what all the buttons do, I think I need another tutorial on this, that will be in my journal. And that, when I then schedule my learning session, let's say, I'll be then looking up on YouTube or whatever to educate myself on that synth, so that then the next time I'm ready for my studio session, I'm better informed. So this is what I wanted to kind of tell you guys. It's something I'm going to try myself, and I'm going to invite you guys and have a look and see how I'm going to be doing it. And perhaps, let me know if you guys are trying this as well in the comments. How is it going? But again, as a summary, the idea here is pretty simple. We're thinking about going to the gym and using that as an analogy and applying that to our studio sessions. We're preparing in advance loops, instruments, and anything else that you think you're going to need to go into it. Even perhaps to the idea of what type of idea you want to make. Is it a bass idea? Is it a synth idea? A melody idea? Have that in mind. Take that into the session that you've scheduled in, perform that, and then have a journal at the end, a notepad, or there's various templates out there that you can use for this, that then documents how that session went, and then feed that loop into your next session, so you know what you're going to do. And have, I guess, maybe a time where you can kind of collate all these ideas in your journals from these sessions, idea sessions, so that you can better plan the next week or the following sessions, whether they're study sessions or whether they're studio sessions. So there you have it. Pretty interesting idea, and really, when you think about it, it's something that's built into us. So all we're doing is using an existing habit, changing it a little bit and using it for our studio time. Well guys, I'm going to leave it there. I think that sums it up. I'm going to go and try and implement this. Let me know what you guys think about this. Try it and let me know how you get along. And as always, please do click on the button to subscribe. It's there in the corner with a little yellow sign. Click like if you like it. Let me know in the comments any thoughts. Okay guys, thank you very much. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.